Meantime, tonight, let's turn to one of our favorite topics, body cameras for Portland police officers. And as we've told you, Portland is the only major city in the entire country where officers do not wear body cameras already. A few weeks ago, it seemed like that was about to change. Mayor Ted Wheeler proposed $2.6 million for the body cameras in the fall budget, which is still being worked out right now. And he also had support from the city council. The police bureau even made a deal with the feds to put cameras on the officers and meet the demands of a 2014 settlement over police reform. So it seemed like everything was a go. Everyone was on board. Everyone was happy until last week, when a judge ordered all parties to go back into mediation because of disagreements over how the body camera program would actually tangibly work in real time. And one of those parties is the Portland Police Union. So I sat down with their new president, Sergeant Schmautz, to talk about body cameras.
With body cameras, what can you tell us about where that issue stands right now and just your biggest maybe concerns or your goals in establishing that program?
Sure. I mean, the PPA has been a proponent of body cameras for as long as I can remember, back to like 2012. I remember having conversations. I think the thing that's important for people to understand that the body cameras are kind of a multifaceted discussion. They're expensive. Which is fine. I mean, a lot of things are expensive, but the technology to manage the data is expensive. And then there's a lot of privacy issues or other things that come up that I think kind of all sides, discuss. And so for us, it's an important accountability measure, both for our officers and for the public. I think that it helps tell the story about the way that our public interacts with the police, and how the police interact with the public. So, listening, is my first time sitting in federal court the other day, listening to the different perspectives. It's obvious that, the different kind of parties there have different perspectives about how that tool should be used.
Now, to that last point, Sheba emailed us asking if the police union negotiates the purchase of cameras, then will they also determine how those cameras are used? And the real sticking point, or a real sticking point in this whole debate, is who can look at the video and when. And that point is made all the stickier given that the city and the union are in contract negotiations as we speak. So I asked Sergeant Schmautz about that as well.
Is it true that a hang-up in this process seems to be that the union wants officers to be able to view the video before writing their statements or giving their reports?
I can't get into the specific details of what those negotiations are because they're in mediation, but I would tell you, the thing that's interesting with any kind of video will always be context. And, officers, when they're involved in these rapidly evolving events, I think it's important for people to be able to explain what occurs. And so, again, from a transparency standpoint, the camera points one direction and the officer may or may not be looking in that direction. There's a myriad of reasons why, just making sure that the officer understands what the public is seeing and so they can provide context to that instead of having to do it later.
Now, of course, another debate is not over when officers can view the video, but when the public can view the video. I want to show you this article. Back in May, Willamette Week reported that the police union, at the time, they had a plan. They wanted the police bureau to be the ones who owned the body camera video, not the city. The police bureau. Their proposal at the time said the video would not be released to the public without a court order, but that the union could get the video within 24 hours. Now, again, we should note that was their proposal as of May. We don't know if this has changed because these negotiations are closed to the public. But last week, I did ask Sergeant Schmautz about that report.
I don't know specifically I didn't read that Willamette Week article. Anything that the police do is public record. It's obviously subject to redaction based on, as for instance, you might be in a domestic violence situation or other things. Most of the things that are redacted in those cases are actually the public, not necessarily the police. But we're a proponent of transparency. We're a proponent of getting information out as quickly as possible. But again, the thing that is important is we're making sure that, again, due process is preserved for the officers, due process is preserved for members of the public. And again, you've seen around the country some places where there have been public records requests for like all video, not necessarily from a specific incident. And just that takes time to produce and it's expensive.
Now, community activists involved in the body camera debate basically want all of those details spelled out in writing about who can view the video and when. And that was why the judge sent all parties back to the drawing board. So here's what attorney Juan Chavez, who represents the Mental Health Alliance, told Kyla Boshi last week.
We have heard from DOJ what they are considering good metrics and policies for a body-worn camera policy. But again, if it's not in the agreement, who's to say it's enforceable? Who's to say that they're actually going to hold up their end of the bargain?
It seems as simple as put it in writing so we can guarantee this will happen in the end.
Precisely, yeah.
And that's the hope moving forward?
That is.
So again, the question remains, we ask this every time, when, given all of this, could we actually see body cameras on Portland police officers? Well, the city was scheduled to vote on it in early December, early next month. But now that federal judge has told everyone to go back to the drawing board, it's the last time I'll say drawing board, by the way, that will likely be pushed back. That December deadline will likely be pushed back. We'll, of course, keep you updated on any developments.